Hello guys, welcome to today's video, which is the top 10 of my favorite bands. My favorite bands. Most of it's gonna seem like it's metal. If you're wondering what the music in the background is, it's an EP by Tool called Opiate. It's the first track of Opiate right now. Again, made by Tool, not made by me. Of course, just had a little background thing, and I'll make sure to kind of keep the audio down a little bit. It's enough so that you might hear something in the background. Anyways, honorable mentions. There's a whole bunch of grunge bands I like. Nirvana wouldn't have cracked the top 10, but there's some that would have been eligible. Like Pearl Jam would have been eligible, and friggin' Alice in Chains, and most of Chris Cornell's stuff from the grunge era, and some of other Chris Cornell stuff like Audio Slave is pretty badass. And then there's the King Crimson's an honorable mention. I like but I don't feel like I've listen to the catalog in the proper order, so I feel like I can't really qualify them. Opeth is really good as well, but I haven't listened to the full catalog, sadly. And Genesis is very good, but sad, but it didn't crack the top 10 because of a couple albums. And Dream Theater is the same situation as Opeth, and 6 Feet Under and Cannibal Corpse are I enjoy listening to, but I didn't feel were worthy enough to crack the top 10, and I also didn't put Mushroomhead or Slipknot on here, and those would have been cracked. Those are stuff I like as well. Now number 10 is a band that I guess came back recently, sort of. It's Mr. Bungle, which is one of Mike Patton's bands, and I believe it's the first one he technically made, but it's the second one he made an album for. I want to go by that. I didn't research nothing because this is just more of a quickie kind of thing. There's so many choices in Mr. Bungle. I'm sorry, Mike Patton. Like Faith No More is very good, and Tomahawk is very good. Phantomas I haven't listened to. Lovage is good, but it's only one album, so it's more like a project. But Mr. Bungle is like, what the hell am I listening to? is what you get with Mr. Bungle. It's very, very experimental. And there's no real idea of what genre it is aside experimental, but the way it sounds, it's so friggin' weird that it keeps you listening, and that to hear what sounds can he mix together next, what sounds. All the albums by Mr. Bungle, all the albums, the first album, the second album, the third one, and the redoing of the demo album, which I'll call the fourth album now because they just redid it. It's really good. So very, very excellent. I'd highly recommend it if you want to hear some strange sounds by one of the great bands, I feel. Now, next up on my list would be a Slayer. This is not the one I would have chose to present as the face cover. This is okay album, Christ Illusion, and that's why they're a bit lower than on the list. It's because their very, very first out is very excellent, very good, but there's some parts in there that's not as great, and it kind of drags the band back, but very excellently crafted. I would say in the genre of main thrash metal, I think they're basically the best of the thrash metal, like thrash. These guys are the truer thrashers, I would say. Very well produced, especially the Rick Rubin era stuff. Um, Even the first stuff where it's low quality is still very good. A lot of fun to listen to, and a lot of the riffs and the drums are excellent. Kick ass. Very good. I highly recommend Slayer. More so too if you like metal. I'd say some people would say that should be your first choice for metal. I wouldn't say so, but if you like metal, I would definitely say Slayer. If you never listened to Slayer, now here's another. Now here's another one. This is Death, and now Death, they consist of 7 albums, I believe. And if you want to include Control Denied as the 8th album, you can, but I don't include it. Chuck Schuldiner didn't include it. He wanted to separate the sound. This is the pioneer of the death metal sound, you could say. Actually, this is their first album, Scream Bloody Gore. And some people would say it's their best album. I feel like they get better. I think they just get better and better as they go on. They start with this low-res death metal kind of sound and kind of go into more very progressive melodic kind of sound as it goes on. A lot of the songs are very good. The albums are very listenable. If you can put on an album, you're gonna listen to it from front to back. No matter if you like it or not, because you want to see which style it goes. I think my favorite album would probably be the 5th one or the 7th one. I believe it is The Sound of Perseverance. I think they just get better and better, and and I believe it's been 20 years since Chuck Schuldiner passed away, or I think it's gonna be, or it might have already been. I don't know. So next up on the list would be Dio, and Dio, Dio is already a very good vocalist and a very good writer for music. He started out in Elf, which was more of a folky kind of sound, and then he progressed to Rishi Blackmore's Rainbow, where he had more of a rockin' kind of sound, very progressive, I would say. It's very reminiscent of the 70s. Very cool band. And then you get to the South era, which I'll talk about later, where he's more sludgy doom metal. And then you get to his final... I'm gonna say it's his final outing because Heaven and Hell is technically part of Black Sabbath. I'd say that. But Dio is like his full form, where he's at his most high level of his music. Very kind of a power metal kind of sound. A lot of the songs are very well written. Very underrated as well in the bigger metal community. I feel like he doesn't get enough attention like other bands do, and I think he deserves some because he had some really cool songs, and of course the signature Devil Horns, which I'll be honest, I don't do the Devil Horns when I'm listening to music, but when I listen to it, I find I do it. Out of respect for the old guy, he had some great songs. Tool, which you hear on right now. Tool will be number 6, I believe. And Tool, I would say, is one of the bands that I didn't like at first, but I grew to really appreciate, and now I'm a huge fan of Tool. All their albums are excellent, I feel. Even their EP on the other 5 albums. Excellent stuff. Very progressive and sounds so sort of alternative sounding. I'd say it leads more towards some people would say it's artsy fartsy. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that the Tool does what they want very well, and it works in their favor. And it's just excellent. Now, next up on the list would be System of a Down. Now, System of a Down, they sort of came back recently. I think they're just releasing material of an album they never made, I think it is. But System of a Down, it's a hard band to describe. Some people would say they're a new metal. But no, compare their style to the styles of, say, like Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit or Slipknot or something like that. I wouldn't say so. But they are very excellent. They're a bit of a harder band to describe, and I would just say that they are really one of the best bands around, really. And sadly, it's kind of sad that they don't make music anymore, but the music that's there, all 5 albums are badass. They just get better and better as they go on, and I just love it. It's excellent. Now, at number 4, we have Iron Maiden. Now, Iron Maiden, the British heavy metal, sort of a power metal kind of sound, very speedy, experimental, synthesizer guitars later on. No, I think from here on, I think the bands are all perfect, sort of, as you'll see with when I get to one entry. But very, very musically diverse and a very long catalog. I even like the stuff that most people don't even like. The third singer guy, excellent. I feel like he did a really good job. And the first guy, I know a friend of mine, 2 friends of mine don't really like. Well, actually, this is the CD with the first guy. But even then, I still really like it. So, no, I think their general sound is what appeals to me the most. Kind of, some people would describe it as kind of an operatic kind of sound, kind of like. Someone said metallic Queen. I would say that. That's a little extreme to say, I would say. But, excellent, really. Oh, shoot. I just dropped a CD of Iron Maiden. Next up would be, Metallica. Now, Metallica, this is the Black Album, by the way. This is their most famous album. Now, Metallica is a, bit of a strange bag. Now, Metallica, you either love one ear, hate another ear. You love one album, you hate the rest of the albums. You think they're sellouts, or you think they're not. Or you like everything, or you hate everything. They're a very strange band to pin down. Now, I kind of started with more of a thrashy kind of sound. I wouldn't say it's entirely thrash on the same level as, like, Slayer. But still kind of thrashy sound, and then you go here, which is more groove metal kind of thing, and then go on to more hard rock kind of sound mixed with and then you go to the punk album, which people really hated, but it's alright. And then you go to the more bob rock mixed with their modern, with their thrash sound, and then you go to Lulu, which is not very good. And then you go to, of course, their recent album, which is a great, excellent offering. But I feel no matter what Metallica album you listen to, again, even if it stinks, like you're gonna listen to it all the way through. They just have that kind of aura about them. The lyrics are usually very good. The vocals are very good as well. James Hetfield on microphone, and Lars Ulrich is also a very good drummer, I feel. And also, they know what they're doing. They're a very good band, and if you're not into metal, this is an album I would recommend as well. Now, some people blame this album for their downfall. I don't think they fell. I think they think their new idea has kind of helped them grow in a different way. But although I will say there's that one album, that Lulu friggin' thing. Pink Floyd. I don't have a CD right next to me right now. I have some, but I don't have one right next to me right now. Pink Floyd is very diverse. Psychedelic rock at first, then progressive rock, and then more of an experimental concept rock as it went on. And then eventually more of a pop rock near the end too, just to fall on friggin' like the last album's basically like a ASMR kind of for relaxation kind of thing. I reviewed all their albums. The only one I didn't like was their final outing, which felt more like a bonus track thing, so I just pretended that it doesn't exist. But besides that, they have some of the best songs ever written, I feel. Some of the best songs ever written, I feel. And, very musically diverse. You can tell who's doing what. Sometimes. Because they all can play different parts. David Gilmour is an excellent vocalist and guitarist, of course. Roger Waters was a very good writer. His vocals are a little scratchy, but that kind of works in his favor. It kind of actually works with some of his more like concept kind of stuff. And of course, Wright was a good instrumental player, and Nick Mason was a very good drummer. Overall, excellent band. There's nothing more I can say about them, and yeah. Now, I used to say that they were my favorite bands. Now, what happened? Who is my number one? Now, the answer to that might be an obvious answer to my friend Miles, probably, by me freaking trying to get him to check out this band out, but Black Sabbath. Now, after re-listening to their entire catalog, I realized Pink Floyd is a very excellent band, but these guys don't have a bad album. They don't have a bad album, I feel. I don't even think they have a bad song. I don't even feel like they even have a friggin' bad singer, and someone's gonna shoot me for saying that, because some people hate Ian Gillan or Glenn Hughes or those guys. But I just disagree. I think they have one of the best catalogs in music history ever. The deep takes are excellent. Some of the albums are top tier badass. Ozzy era, Dio era, Gillian era, friggin' Hughes era. I like the different sounds they approach, the different metal kind of sounds. I can't say much about them because they're just that good. I think most people should check out a Black Sabbath album or two at least, or a song if they never heard one somehow, and give them a fair chance, because they're one of the best bands that has ever played on Earth. And for that reason, they are my number one. Now, little mini update. It's my birthday soon on February the 20th. I'll be a bit older. That's all. I won't be changed. I'll just be a bit older. And yeah, it's just gonna be different. Hopefully New Year, New Me. I don't want to exactly say that because New Year hasn't been going too well, but let's see what we can do. Have a good day, folks.